Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Thursday, November 13, 2025. And I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, police say man who drowned in Rio Cobre jumped from service vehicle, incident being probed. The Police's Inspectorate and the Professional Standards Oversight Bureau and the Independent Commission of Investigations have launched separate probes into the death of a man being transported by the police in St. Catherine on Wednesday. A statement issued by the police's Constabulary Communications Network stated that 73-year-old Melton Smith reportedly jumped from the service vehicle as it traveled across Flatbridge in the Bogwalk Gorge and fell into the Rio Cobre. The incident was captured on a traffic cam video, which has since gone viral. In the video, Melton was seen with a tire as he entered the water. In its report, CCN stated that Smith, a farmer of Linstead, St. Catherine, was a suspect in an alleged case of abduction and carnal abuse and was being transported from Linstead to Spanish Town. It further said that he was assisted from the river by police personnel and the fire brigade and taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Body of man with a stab wound found near Spanish Town bypass. The Spanish Town police in St. Catherine are investigating the death of a man whose body was found with a stab wound near the Spanish Town bypass on Tuesday. The body has been described by the police as being of dark complexion, about 5 feet 10 inches long, and appearing to be in its early 30s. The man, who has a cornrow hairstyle and a beard, was clad in a pair of jeans pants and a short-sleeved shirt. He was barefooted. The police report that about 9:30 a.m., passers-by stumbled upon the body near the bypass. The police were summoned and the body was found lying face down in blood with what appeared to be a stab wound to the chest area. The scene was examined and the body was removed by a funeral home to the nearby Spanish Town Hospital. A post-mortem is to be conducted. St. Catherine taxi operator charged for alleged rape of female passenger. Detectives assigned to the St. Catherine Center for Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse have charged a taxi operator for allegedly raping a female passenger in Treadway district in the parish. Roshane Porter, 34, of Time and Patience District in Linstead, is charged with rape, grievous sexual assault, and indecent assault. Porter is to go to court on Tuesday, November 18. The police report that about 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday, November 5, Porter sexually assaulted a female aboard a motor vehicle he operated as a taxi after dropping off his other passengers. A report was made to the police and he was taken into custody the following day. He was formally charged on Sunday, November 9. Municipal cop charged for allegedly hitting taxi operator with a gun during dispute in Portmore. A Portmore St. Catherine Municipal police officer has been charged for allegedly assaulting a taxi operator during an argument that developed into a fight. 38-year-old Trevon Clark is accused of using his firearm to hit the man in his face during the incident. Clark is charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm, assault at a common law, and using a firearm to commit a felony. Reports from the Portmore police are that about 1 p.m. on Sunday, November 9, Clark physically assaulted a man after an altercation developed between them over a vehicle the man used as a taxi. It is further reported that during the fracas, Clark brandished his firearm, struck the man in his face, and then pointed it at him. A report was made to the police and an investigation was launched into the matter. Clark turned himself in on Tuesday, November 11, and was subsequently charged. A court date is being finalized for him. Police impose curfew covering sections of Manchester and St. Elizabeth. The police have moved to impose a curfew in sections of Manchester and St. Elizabeth. The security measure will cover the start of the Spur Tree Main Road in Manchester and will end at the border of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland. The areas covered include Spur Tree, Gutters, Goshen, Santa Cruz, Content, and Rocky Hill. The areas of Lacovia, Holland Bamboo, Middle Quarters, Luana, Brampton, Sandy Ground, Crawford, and the Front Hill are also covered. The curfew will run from 10 p.m. on Tuesday, November 12 to 6 a.m. on Wednesday, November 13, and again from 10 p.m. on Wednesday, November 13 to 6 a.m. on Thursday, November 14. All persons within the boundaries of the curfew, with the exception of essential workers, are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized in writing by the ground commander. NWA urges caution on St. Elizabeth Main Road following mudslides. The National Works Agency is advising motorists and the pedestrians to exercise extreme caution when using the main road in the vicinity of Lacovia, Newton, and the Vauxhall in St. Elizabeth. According to the NWA, sections of the roadway have been heavily impacted by mud and debris following persistent rainfall in recent days. The agency said the conditions have particularly affected the Rice Peace community, making travel along the corridor hazardous. Kingston Mayor calls for updated building code to strengthen resilience. Kingston's Mayor Andrew Swaby is calling for a review of critical city facilities and updates to Jamaica's building code to strengthen disaster readiness after Hurricane Melissa exposed the vulnerabilities. The Category 5 storm, which battered the island 2 weeks ago, carried winds of up to 185 miles per hour, leaving widespread damage across several parishes. Mayor Swaby, who was speaking at Tuesday's meeting of the Kingston and the St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, noted that the current code allows for structures designed to withstand the sustained winds of at least 155 miles per hour.
This is a clear signal that we must update and enforce the regulation under the Building Act without delay. We also need to take a hard look at where our critical facilities are located. Many of our municipal buildings, infirmaries, and fire stations sit in vulnerable areas and must be relocated to higher, more stable grounds. Additionally, the time has come to establish structured evaluation drills to test how people and traffic move in a crisis, with the coordination of all key agencies.
Jamaica under heightened U.S. scrutiny over rise in visa overstays. Jamaica is drawing increased attention from U.S. immigration authorities as the visa overstay rates among Jamaicans continue to rise. A recent report said that more than 11,000 Jamaicans are suspected of remaining in the United States beyond their visa terms. While there is no official suspension of U.S. visas for Jamaicans, applicants are now facing tighter screening, longer wait times, and extra documentation requirements. Authorities are urging travelers to keep clear travel records and prove their intent to return home after visiting the U.S. The heightened scrutiny comes as the U.S. government imposes new visa restrictions across the Caribbean. Haiti faces a full visa suspension, halting all categories from tourist to student visas. Cuba and Venezuela under partial suspensions, while nations such as St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica and St. Lucia are under review for possible future measures. For many Caribbean travelers, new policies mean uncertainty in planning trips of businesses, study, and family visits. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.